and welcome to the Brantley Bank Coaches Show, where we talk all things Pike Road Patriots football with head football coach Ed Rigby. My name is Adam Bishop. I serve as the lead pastor at Vaughn Forest Church and the host of our weekly Brantley Bank Coaches Show. So, Coach, it's great to have you again.
Adam, thank you so much for having us one more time.
Absolutely. Got a big game Friday night against Stanhope, Elmore. We're going to talk about that today. But first, we got to recap our big homecoming win, 40-7 over Russell County.
Yes, it was a great win because it was homecoming. The crowd was awesome. The student section was awesome. And, Russell County came in. Of course, they've been fighting the injury bug with some players out. We were able to capitalize early, kind of jump on them and just ride that wave out. And, it was a good night. We ended up, it was 40-7. And they were able to score. We kind of subbed. And I don't mind people scoring late like that.
Mm-hmm.
When we're ahead, people are, real, let them score 0-0. Let them score. I mean, let their kid, I'm saying that. But anyway, that's the older coach in me. But, we're 5-2 now, 4-0 in the region. That win clinches us a spot in the playoffs.
That's great.
Period. A spot in the playoffs. And kind of lays it out where this week, can clinch second place at worst. Mm-hmm. This week can clinch a home playoff game. And in the playoffs, having home field advantage at first game is bigger than the Beatles. And the Beatles were huge, and this is that big. So this can clinch that for us. So we have a lot to play for. But, some of the highlights from the other night, Caleb Foster, our quarterback, went 4 for 6 for 88 yards, 2 touchdowns, and rushed for a touchdown. And again, his pass to touchdown ratio is incredible.
Right.
It's probably top in the state.
Yeah.
But again, it was some stuff we saw on film. And we put a couple things in out of our compressed packages where, hey, and again, we both times ran a certain play to see how they would react to it. And okay, we're going to come right behind it with this. And so Barry Lowell, offensive coordinator, did a great job kind of setting those up. And it was perfect. It was textbook. I mean, it's the way you draw it on a sheet of paper. It's going to be wide open down there. And so those were great. But, Caleb has a great percentage of touchdowns. And again, he had a rushing touchdown too. Anthony had 4 rushes for 67 yards and 4 rushes. DJ came in, had 16 rushes for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns, ran the ball extremely hard, in his first time to really be the guy out there toting it. AT, our fire plug, had 14 rushes for 75 yards. We tried to get him in the end zone twice. And one time we had a penalty. The other time, somebody missed a block. We tried to, because he had some great runs to get us down there. And, I try to, reward those guys, but one of the times that he had a long run and I didn't think it through, I should have, ran something else, but I tried to, all right, let's get him in right here on this. And he was tired. It was a long run. He had to dodge a lot of folks to get down there. Right. And he was kind of winded. And, if I could have had him, just rested one play and come back. But we tried to, get him in there. He runs hard for us. And Mason Hussey, our full back, and long snapper, he's world-class speed long snapping. He's a selfless blocker, always blocking. He got him one.
It's great to see that, Coach.
Yeah, well, we scored one, and we get it called back. Yeah. And so, we had to get it close again, and then got him in again. And it was funny because Vyson, I overheard him. It was the day before yesterday. He was talking to, I think, Coach Atkins, our O-line coach, and I just overheard the conversation. He's like, why do we run wedge more often? Every time we give it to Hussey, he scores a touchdown. And, it's usually on the 1-yard line. Yeah. So, your percentages are pretty high. We just jam it in there. But might be something we need to look at.
Yeah.
And, but, I was very happy for him because he, to block all the time like the O-lineman, and to get some glory was a big deal. And, defensively, Jalen Jarrett Buki had 7 tackles, and that was kind of a season high for him. Mac, what can we say? He had six tackles, 2 interceptions. The one of them was an 80-yard run back.
That was incredible.
It was his chance to score, and he got caught right there at the end. So we're over there on the sideline, and we're right at the end of the game. And I'm talking to him. And I'm like, Mac, let's go through, because the kids were giving him a hard time about no scoring. I'm like, let's go through it, Mac. So he goes, well, Coach, I got to about the 50, and I ain't going to lie, I ran out of gas. And I'm like, whoa, Mac, hold on a second. So I called 2 of the running backs. So it was actually AT and DJ. I called them over, and I'm like, we got a running back's perspective here. Just go, let's go through it again. He goes, okay, it wasn't the 50, it was the other 40. And, he kept changing the story.
Right.
And but you know, it was a great job. And also DJ Tolliver had an incredible one-hand interception.
It was unbelievable.
An incredible interception. And you know, it's a game, we've talked about this. We talked about it last week, I believe. It's a game of giveaway and takeaways, and we had the takeaways. You know, we didn't give any away, but we took them away, and it flips the outcome so fast. You know, and it's back to what we've talked about before. That Bear Bryant. You know, you play 65 for a handful to determine the outcome. Those takeaways determine it. When when they're about to score, and he picks a ball and takes it 80 yards and gives it to us down there on the 8. You know what I'm saying? That's you not only flip the field, you take their morale, you take their hope away.
That was really their only sustained drive. It looked like they had some momentum, and Mac just took it right away.
He took it away from them. And so it was a great night, and we got a little dinged up in some areas, you know, we've been having to deal with this week. And a lot of times those games like that, as I found, the super tight, super physical games, usually people don't get real dinged up. It's those weird games like that where you win 40-7 where people somehow get dinged up. It's really weird, and I've never been able to put a handle on it, but I've seen it a lot. But, you know, it was a great win for us. Again, it brought us to 4-0 in the region, 5-2 overall, 4-0 in the region, and we're staying in the driver's seat. We're controlling our own destiny, and in controlling it, again, that we had to win a game, get us in the playoffs. Well, boom, we did it. Now we got to win this next game versus Stanhope to, number one, let's lock in a home playoff game. Let's do it. We win it. You know, we can do that. So we're controlling our destiny. Then, you know, you win this week, and it sets you up to be the region champion the next week, to have an opportunity.
Right.
So the beauty of it, it's come down to the last 3 games, and each one of them means something. And that's the thing, you know, as a coach, when you play that last game of the year, you want to be playing for something. And these games are playing for something. And, you know, we're not like some other teams in the region or teams all throughout the state who are just finishing out their schedule. That's what we got to play, and, you know, it's over with. No, we've got everything in front of us that we talked about from the first day I got hired to all through the summer to everything. We got every single thing is still right in front of us, and we control it. You know, so, and other people are going to try to take that control, obviously. That this is a sport. So it's beauty. We're sitting in a great spot. Would like to be a little healthier, like I say, in some areas. But, hey, it's like we've talked about right here. It's the next guy. You know, next guy's going to have to carry the load. Hey, and the mentality has got to stay the same. That, hey, we're going to go out there and do what we do. We're going to put points on the board. We're going to stop people, put points on the board. We're going to take that ball away from them, and we're going to play sound special teams. And you know, we continue to work on our kickoff. You know, we worked more on it last week than any point in my career on kickoff. And the first one we kicked without them running back to the dang 50. You know, so, I mean, you know, we worked on it, but we changed a few things up on it, and going to change how we approach it. And so I expect to see a little different outcome. And we've worked on it, you know, every day like we did last week, but I think we'll have a little bit different outcome. So, you know, punt game were really sound. Extra point field goal, we did miss one the other night. He just pulled it, you know, and he's done a great job, you know, talking about Tormey. And I didn't mention Tormey. Tormey had 2 touchdown catches the other night. Right. He had 2 catches for 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. I didn't mention that. I just thought of that when I mentioned his name. But you know, he's done a really, really good job with that. And so you know, we're really, really sound. Our return game is sound. You know, we're going to get yards on it. You never pin us. You know, knock on wood. But those are things coming in the playoffs, you know, that we have to be. You know, there's 3 aspects of football, as everyone's all heard. There's 3 phases of the game, and you've got to win 2 of the 3 to win. At least 2 of the 3. You're not going to win 1 and win the game. You're going to win 2 of the 3. And, you know, it's offense, defense, and special teams. And we've got to continue to improve in every area, but especially the special team area.
Well, Coach, I think every season tells a story, and certainly you know that with all of your years of coaching. And I remember back when we were 0-2, and we sat in here and we talked about those 2 games that made us better. And then we have seen that. And, Coach, just from an outsider's perspective, I feel like this past week was the most complete game I've seen. It feels like every week the team's getting better. I mean, the defense is playing incredibly as a unit. And then, Coach, the evolution of the offense. I mean, I'm still seeing different formations, different movements. Is this something you talked about back in the bye week that worked on? But I feel like every week is just built off of the previous one.
Well, that's it. You know, you've got to evolve, you know, offensively especially. First thing is, you know, and it goes back to those first couple weeks. you show up, you have no spring, and you get a bunch of guys and you're trying to get them in positions you don't know.
Right.
You know what you think they can do, you know what people think, but until you get them out there, how's these puzzle pieces going to fit into the puzzle and make a beautiful picture at the end? Well, with that being said, we have morphed through some things of, hey, chunk that's not our identity right now. I love it, but it's just not us. Let's add this. And we did, coming out of the bye week, we had the basic foundation of some different things. As a defense, let's say Stanhope, play Stanhope this week. You have Monday, they were on fall break like us, which our kids showed up, did a great job being on time. 7:50 we started Monday, and boom, here we go. Tuesday, 7:50 a.m., here we go. Kids showing up on time, we good practice. Yesterday, everyone in Alabama didn't practice unless you had an indoor after school.
Right.
You practice with floaties on. And was that not some incredible rain? About exactly 3.
Yeah.
But we kind of knew it, so we did some stuff in the morning, then came back after school and lifted weights, watched film, all that. And our booster club, our quarterback club, for our wins, they do pizza day on Wednesday. So, no matter what, we had to hang around because it's going to be pizza day.
There you go.
And but we've had a good week. But let's talk about them. They have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and walk through Thursday like we did this morning. You have really 3 days to master. We throw 2 different styles of offense at you, and this is no secret. Anybody who's watching, especially since I've been in Alabama, 11 years, is going to see the same thing. There's going to be an element of spread, okay? And we still are working on being better passers out of it. We work on it every week. But there's an element, and we're getting better. I mean, our numbers, we're not throwing for 300 a game, but we're throwing, 4 for 6 for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. So when we throw, it's valuable. So we've got a spread aspect. We're all 5 wides and we're empty and we're doing this and this, and we got motions and doing some basic stuff. Then you've got the 2 tight end double wing element, which was a whole different concept of football, which originally was going to be just our short yardage. And every year I usually go into it like that, but it usually morphs into something else. When you can go in and out of that set, make them have to prepare. So you'll notice when we go in certain things, you're going to see their sideline roll a bunch of big bodies in. Now, the secret is you get to a point in your season where you can catch them with the big bodies out there, and that's what we did it the other night. And if we see them doing it, we'll catch them too with your big bodies, and we're still really in spread. Right. And it's not a secret. You can watch film and figure it out. And they watch film. Their head coach I've known since I've been in Alabama, Brian Bradford. He him and his brother, they're both ball men like me, beautiful men. And but me and Brian go back because when we first got to Alabama, some connections through Black Mountain FCA. They started an FCA family retreat for people who couldn't go to Black Mountain every summer down there at Blue Lake outside of Andalusia. So this thing gets started, and it started with about 15 families and grew to about 30, 35. And they still have it every year, same basic week of summer. And all these families, him and his brother's crew and my wife and our crew, because our boys, were just high school at the time we first moved. We became friends going to that and still are. We're very close. We talk all the time. We're tight. And that's what makes, just like these last 2 weeks, that's what makes this good. Yeah. As in our world, it's called the Battle of Blue Lake, because we've been playing each other every year for the last few years. So it's always the Battle of Blue Lake. Who's going to, when we show up Blue Lake, who's top dog
That's
here?
right.
Who's top dog? And but that's just, fun. But, he's a good coach. They have a good staff. They watch their film. They know that when they bring these 2 people in, this is the kind of package they're going to run. So they try to bring the bigs in, their O-linemen, other people. We want to be able to take advantage of them. We did it the other night. Yeah. We caught them in the movement and looked like we were going to do X, but then we shuffled the cards real quickly and ran something totally different. But okay, so we've got the spread. We've got the double wing, 2 tight end, which we've morphed that into shifting into gun out of it also. That
was something I saw Friday night.
Shifting it into gun. We started that during our bye week, shifting into gun. And most people who are double wingers at the high school level have went to the gun wing, the gun wing, because it's kind of a single wing. Then we have a true single wing thing where we only do a few plays, and we got a few more in there. We just haven't run them yet. And, it's just, we're waiting on it. So it's 3, the single wing is the old the old Notre Dame box style. You know, we don't do the spinner series and stuff because it's too complicated because you do too much stuff. But we're really making you prepare for 3 different things.
Right.
And with all of them, as you've noticed, every one of them has motion, has people moving to the other side, has which Pike Road did a lot of that last year, but it was like just flopping, reversing, where we're actually motion all the way across. We run speed sweeps. We hand that guy the ball to make you have to honor him. Whether we get a yard or not, you're going to have to honor every time we go in motion.
Right.
We might hand it to him, whether in gun, whether under center. We do it both ways, 3 different ways. So what we're doing offensively, we're morphing, which, like you talked about, into being able to do some multiple things. So you have 3 days, back to the thing, to get ready for 3 different styles. And for example, the double wing aspect of it, we've went into games where we didn't run it a play. I mean, not one play, especially in the last few years. And people go, we spent half our practice on this, and you never ran it a play. So what we're trying to do is it's the old Sun Tzu art of war. When you try to prepare for everything, you're weak everywhere.
That's true.
And so we want to spread your defensive prep time out amongst a lot of things. And once we get in the game, we'll kind of try to settle in on what we think, what's working, what can grind the first downs. And talking about them, they're a 1-6 team. And we talked about this last week. You have 1-6 and you have 1-6. They're a 1-6 team that can beat you. They have lost some very close games. If you go look at their scores, very close games. And all those have come down to giveaways and takeaways. Their quarterback has the fastest release of anybody will play all year.
Oh, wow.
It's very, very fast. They're going to throw it. I will be shocked if they don't throw it between 35 and 45 times a game.
Okay.
Because they've done it.
Okay.
They've done it. And he's had games where he's put up 375 yards passing. And that's scary. We talked about this before the cameras came on. You can go out there and line up at practice and cover all these guys, but they're not going to run it at the same intensity that's going to be run on Friday night, with the same timing and all of that. And, they can kind of, know this play's coming by this formation. Well, in the game, they may have 2 or 3 things they do out of that. We can't show you every single thing. It's impossible. But they're going to throw the ball. As a fan, if you want to come see somebody put the ball up in the air, they're going to put the ball in the air. And again, you can look at it at practice and go, oh, we'll sack this. We'll get there. We'll get that. Well, you don't know till you get out there that you're going to be able to defend it.
You can't replicate the speed of the game in practice.
No, there's no way. And we do a very, very good job giving each other a look. Very good. At our level, we're doing is just as good as anybody else, or better than most all. Because, like, offensively, I run the scout team offense myself, to give the defense the best look possible.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I've done that for years, strictly off of, it lets me kind of know more what's going on, by doing it. I don't sit in the defensive meetings, but I can see them. And then when you go out and watch film of practice, I see what they're doing to it. Okay, this is how they're going to try to attack it. This is what we're doing. Oh man, this is really good stuff here. We just got to, we got to do it. And but they're going to put that ball in the air. They're going to spin that ball. And they got a receiver number 4 who's committed to Troy commit. And he is good. He's tall. He's rangy. He runs. And I never use players' names from other schools. You've noticed that. I just always, because that's all we do. I can't number this, number that. No, when you start giving them names, you give them life, and stuff. So yeah, we just, there's numbers. Number 8 is this. Number 4 is that. Number 10 is this. 4 and 10 are their guys. The big bulk of all their passes are going to go to those 2 guys. So you want to keep an eye on them. But our kids, here's when you're getting where you want to go. When you're out there at practice, and it was Marcus Webb who actually said this. It was on Tuesday. So it's early morning. It's beautiful out there. It's cool. It was kind of overcast Tuesday morning. It's just the best football practice you could ever have, weather-wise. No football's perfect. And we're out there, and I'm running something, and we run something at them. And right as they line up, it was Marcus Webb, starts yelling, number 4 is going to run the tunnel screen. It's coming right here. And I've been watching my film. It's coming. And that's exactly what we were running. When they start watching the huddle and they know this formation, when he's here and this guy's off and this guy's on, or vice versa, or he's in the backfield now, this certain guy, and they're going to do this or this, and have done it. And we have every film of every game they've played. This is exactly what they're going to do. Those are good things. Those are good things. And to hear him do that, and
that
I'm
had
like,
to fire you up as a
well,
coach.
I'm like, hey, man, some of them, they're starting to figure this out.
That's great.
And that's part of, offense, it's a little bit different because a lot of our passing is more play action type stuff. So coverage doesn't matter. It's about the reads, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3 down or whatever. A lot of it's about that so that your coverage doesn't matter what you give us. Because, it's going to be a total, we're looking at this guy, we're looking at that guy. We're not looking at your corner. If he drops, we do this. He comes down, we do that. Safety rolls here, we throw here. It's not that. So it doesn't matter as much to us per se, but defensively, knowing what people line up in, everybody has tendencies. And with huddle, when you put these games in and you tag all these games, it will spit out the analytics of the whole game. So you can look at like your tendencies of yourself. So when I put in the offensive stuff, I can run it each week and see every time we're in this formation, we ran to the strength this many times, we ran right this many times, we ran, weak this many times, and kind of adjust things off of it. And one of the tweaks off of it last week is we ran more counters than what we've run to get away from strength.
Okay.
To get away from our strength stuff. And ran some stuff away from strength specifically for tendency breakers, for down the road. And because, again, we talked about earlier, I went into coaching because I was told there'd be no math. And, it is math.
Yeah.
It's a lot of math and the angles of geometry. A lot of it is that. And but we have a good game plan. We've had a good sound week of practice. And again, hey, we didn't get out there and do nothing yesterday, but nobody did. Unless you had an indoor, you did not. And they don't either. So, it was lift weights, watch film, eat pizza, and go home, type thing. But we did get some stuff done in the morning as far as formation recognition. We went out there in class and went through all that knowing that, it says at 3 it's going to be. And it was dead on the money.
Yeah.
Dead on the money. And I feel bad for Monday night, our middle school. We have a middle school league, okay? And we end up first in the league. So we're playing Beauregard Monday night. Our place 5:30. All right, it's going to be huge. 5:30. It's the Mega Bowl. It's Mega Bowl. We named it the Mega Bowl. Middle school championships at our place Monday night 5:30. But they're out of school Monday and Tuesday, so a lot of times it's hard for those kids to get up there. Their parents being out, and a lot of them went out of town. So they need to practice yesterday, today, and tomorrow, getting ready for Monday's game. And me and Mike get them out there, and it is. We were outside about 20 minutes waiting on to get down there, waiting on to get dressed. We get out there, they start running their lap because it's just during the day, the end of the day. And about half of them are around the thing. And Miss Stephanie, our trainer's like, hey, I just got lightning with 6 miles. I'm like, we've been here for 20 minutes. I've not seen any, it's dark, but I'm like not seeing anything. I said, well, I guess I've not finished my sentence. And right over that, it crack. And I'm running, sprint. And they're like, what? Lightning, sprint. It was like 4.1. And by the time we get inside, all of a sudden it's just crack. And it didn't let up till, 4 something.
Right.
It was just a steady barrage. And so we do have that Monday for those who are going to be around. Okay. That'd be a really great game. Their head coach, Justin Jones of their varsity, his son's the middle school quarterback, doing a great job, and me and him go way back. And but his son does a great job. And Casey Myers is our quarterback. He's got some good receivers, a good offensive line, and he's thrown for a dump truck load of yards, at that level, and it is really, really going to be fun to watch over the next few years. So it's our future. And there's 67 of them little fellas out there.
That's awesome. 7th
and 8th grade, there's 67 of them. And so come on out Monday night, 5:30. Not to take anything away from our Friday night, but that is something that's happening.
Absolutely.
It's going down. Yeah. It's going down. And, our middle school coach, Jake Nager, takes it super serious. And we were talking yesterday. He's like, big game. He said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and send out word. We need to cancel school Tuesday. He said, this will be like the Celtics or somebody winning the national. Just the town, man. Just be going crazy.
Celebrating
App State
all
beating
night.
Texas A&M is what it's going to be like Monday when we win this championship.
Great.
And but he was probably serious too. No, I'm kidding. but no. But back to the thing at hand. Stanhope, 7:00 tomorrow night. I haven't looked at it today. I looked at it yesterday evening. I think it was saying like at kickoff maybe 60 or something, or maybe a little bit less than that. Of course, that could have changed, with this front coming through. But the moral of that story, it's going to be a beautiful night.
It is.
It is going to be clear. There's no rain chance. Their field is natural. It's the only second time we've played on grass all year, and there are only 2 times we play on grass. And it took on a lot of rain yesterday and last night, so it may be a little mush. And we're going to be wearing the all whites: white helmet, white jersey, white pants, white socks. And Josh Clark is our wide receiver coach. This is his laundry week, and he's like, "Coach, can we put on the blue pants?" And I said, "You got laundry?" I said, "Absolutely not."
That's so great,
young coach. You're gonna learn. We're gonna learn this right here. How you get the stains out.
How to get the stains out.
And surprisingly, the secret for me, anyway, is Cascade.
Okay,
is Cascade. And taking Cascade and that you would put in your and soaking them in it in ice water overnight, and then you may have to wash them through twice. But hey, that stuff will just drop right out.
I mean, where else are you going to get tips like that? I mean, come on, that's fantastic.
Those at home, Cascade,
Cascade,
and I've never really looked at the chemical makeup, but I'm sure it's probably something similar because they look the same. Those little specks in it as like your OxyClean.
Yeah,
it's got like blue specks.
Right.
Well, you look at it, looks exactly the same. I've looked at it before and thought, I wonder if these are the same thing, And they just sell them in different.
Right, yeah.
This is for washing clothes.
Same company owns both.
Yeah, so I think it's a lot alike. But anyway, it's going to be beautiful. You can buy your tickets on GoFan. I would get there early. Their stadium is a bigger, older stadium. They have a small press box, because that used to be apparently the home side of it on the visitor side. But there's plenty of seating. It's a big stadium, big cement stadium. Parking's usually not a problem there because, again, I've been up there a few times. Parking's not a problem, but you still want to get there early. You don't want to miss anything. It's their senior night, so we'll get off the field a little bit early for them, and but we don't stay there a long time anyway. But it's football. Here we go. And again, we have a reason to. They got a reason. It's senior night.
Yeah,
it's their last senior night.
Right.
We got a reason to bow up and play for something for us that again we talked about the first day. Hey, you want to get a state championship, got to get week 11. Well, we did that. You want to get a state championship, get a home playoff game first time.
Yes.
You want to get there? These are all steps to make this job, to conquer this job. And so here we are with something else we can conquer on Friday night.
That sounds awesome, Coach. And Patriot Nation, you heard Coach. You can get those tickets right here at our GoFan link. We'll put that up for you. And if for whatever reason you're not able to drive up to Stanhope, Elmore, you can tune into the game. Our guys will be doing a great job of the broadcast, as they always do, on our Pike Road Live YouTube channel. Well, Coach, we're ready for another game. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Yes, sir. Go Patriots.
Go Patriots.